Now, crisis communications, something none of us really want to talk about, but there's always roadblocks and detours and maybe even an act of God where you need to be prepared. And that's not going to be the first day that you'll want to meet me. You'll want to know all about our team and myself and how we're going to handle crises for you. And after all, a crisis can be something like an employee or a student winning the lottery. It doesn't have to be a real negative event. So why would that be a crisis? Because of the media onslaught. You have somebody win a multi-million-dollar lottery, the media will come to the campus wanting to interview the professor, their supervisor, interview the student and their professors, whoever it might be, and you're going to want to know how to handle that. So hopefully, if you have a crisis, it's something that is that good. But you never know. Just like no matter how well you plan for any trip, any type of travel, you need to be ready for the bumps in the road and the detours. So crisis communications. Why do we need to plan for that ahead of time? Well, I was saying that stress makes you stupid. It's a reality. So that, and believe me, if there's a crisis, you will be under stress. Not just during the waking hours, not just during the working hours, but 24 hours a day. And that's not the time to be thinking of everything. So it's good to bring in somebody from the outside, and it's good to have a plan in place that you can just check off and follow, because otherwise, who knows what you might do or what you might say. So again, why crisis communications? Why a specialist? Well, it's really good to have a national perspective as well as the local perspective, especially if it's something that goes beyond your local community. I've dealt with international crises. I worked on the Rwanda and Kosovo refugee crises. In the United States, I worked the Waco cult crisis. I worked on airplane crashes at LAX. I worked on corporate firings as well as a lot of small business and government crises as well. So by having that outside perspective, when you're involved in a crisis, you're very emotionally involved, and it's good to have somebody from the outside who doesn't have that same level of emotional ties to help be the quarterback through what's going on. What's important during the crisis is to make sure you communicate with all of your audiences. When the media is beating at your door, it's easy to forget about your most important audiences, and those are your internal audiences, your employees, your students, the students' parents, your vendors, the local community leaders, the local community politicians, the local media. NBC wants a story, it's real easy to forget about the Cottonwood Journal or Red Rock News. But those are the media that you need day in and day out. So you're going to want to react with that media as well. So you want to identify your audiences. You want to identify how you're going to contact those people. You want to identify what your message points are. Have broad-based message points that you can just do some tweaking and get your message across. For example, I did the crisis communications plan for Reno Airlines right before they were bought by American Airlines. We had everything a CEO would say, every news release that would go out if there was a plane crash. All they had to do was fill in the flight number, what cities it was going from and to, where the crash was, how many people were on board, how many people were injured or died, but everything else they wanted to say was already there and prepared. So what's great about this is that we develop a good working relationship by working out this plan. Everybody's on the same page. And the partnering with the rest of this team, the entire team will be involved. And you'll need that during these times. So it's great that I've got the opportunity to work with everybody here and to be prepared. There's nothing like being prepared. So thank you very much, and I look forward to the opportunity to work with you.